Happy St. Patrick's Day. There are a lot of Irish beers led by Guinness. Today we're going to give you some of the best.
Spring is blooming. Time to get back out there. We're going to tell you about some of the new places that have been opening up lately.
From the Ship Bottom Blendery and Barrel House in Swarthmore, he's Joe Sixpack. I'm Glen Macnow for an all new episode of What's Brewing?
What's Brewing is brought to you in part by Montcomb Makers, powered by the Valley Forge Tourism Convention Board. Download the app. By Visit Bucks County. Travel the Bucks County Ale Trail. Check in digitally to 5 or more breweries to score a free t-shirt. Get your passport at visitbuckscounty.com. And by the Conshohocken Brewing Company. Visit conshahockenbrewing.com for the latest releases, location hours, menus, and online store.
When you can actually see the craftsmanship that went into making something, you're transported back to a simpler time.
There's nothing quite like the feeling of freedom that you get riding in the open cockpit of a biplane.
Like the many Pennsylvania plein air artists who came before me, I found inspiration for my art in the hills and the valleys of Bucks County. Bucks County is my home.
Bucks County is my home.
And Bucks County is my home. Visit Bucks County, where home feels like a getaway.
Hey, welcome to What's Brewing. He's Joe Sixpack. I'm Glen Macnow. You see all those people behind me? That is because we are celebrating all of our Scavenger Hunt winners this week for a special season wrap-up episode of What's Brewing. We're in Swarthmore at the Ship Bottom Barrel House in Blendery. Great new place. I'm enjoying their Ship Bottom Shack IPA. And you?
Good beer. This is the Barnegat Lager. Really nice lager. I
Very
really enjoy
nice.
this.
All right. St. Patrick's Day is coming up this week. You go out, you'll get a Guinness, whatever, and that's great. I'm a fan of the Guinness, but we decided let's feature other Irish beers for our beer swap. And I brought you this. This is the Kale and Creed Ale barrel aged in Irish whiskey casks. I had not heard of Kale and Creed before. I don't know if you have.
This is kind of new in the local market.
By the way, I want to thank my pal Jim Martin of the Laura Marion Beverage Company on Greenfield Avenue in Ardmore. He finds all these great beers for me. This is described, it's an amber ale, distinctly Irish, the unforgettable flavor of kale and reed. No idea what that is. Comes from aging in genuine Irish whiskey oak barrels using locally sourced Irish malts and the purest water from the River Shannon. What's not to like?
Nothing. I mean, it's a good beer, but it doesn't have the big barrel. The barrel does not overwhelm the flavor on this one.
No, it's a fairly mild beer. I'm trying to see. I don't know what percent it is. It is a 6.5%. So that's fine.
Very
it's good.
drinkable. It's you know, for those people who are into big barrel-aged stouts and so on, that's not what this is. This has got the light barrel flavor to it.
All right. So what did you bring?
Okay, I've got somewhere. Here we go. This is basically, to me, this is a craft alternative to Guinness. O'Hara's Irish Stout. It's a nitro can. Probably should have gotten
a
bigger.
nitro can.
We probably should have gotten a big.
Oh,
you hear that?
I hope people heard the sound. Yeah.
So this is, yeah, you can just see it coming up out of there.
Yeah. So explain what a nitro is, and you're pouring it differently than you would pour
Yeah,
beer.
you're supposed to pour these really heavy into the glass because it helps with the head. I probably should have had a bigger, but you can see, really.
I love those tiny bubbles. It's Guinness looking. Yeah, I love this.
So Carlo's Brewery makes this this stout. This is not anywhere near the size of Guinness at all. It's a small brewery outside of Dublin. I've actually visited the place. They're really making a lot of good beers.
That's nice, you know? That's a nice beer, and you can get it, as I said, you can get this in Lower Merion. But I feel like I'm in Ireland right now.
Yeah. Hey, doesn't beer always taste better in Ireland?
Well, it does. And why is that?
Well, because you're in freaking Ireland. Come on.
Exactly. Some of the others I brought, Smithwick's Red Ale, which I think is one that everybody likes,
Yeah,
right?
it's kind of pedestrian if you were going to evaluate it as a beer geek, but the fact is, if you're drinking Smithwick's in Ireland, you're going to really enjoy it. And a lot of people come back. I remember this for years. People would say, hey, you ever had this beer? It tasted so good. And I always wondered why I didn't like it as much until I went to Dublin and tasted it.
God, it is. All right, the other one I brought is Harp. Kind of an old standard. I had it in Ireland, and you said that for a while they lost their way. Huh?
Yeah, it's a big company that's brewing this beer. It's owned by Guinness. For a while, they were actually making this beer in Canada. You told me that this bottle has actually
It says imported from Ireland, from St. James Gate in Dublin.
Right.
On the back, it says product of Ireland.
Right.
Brewed by Guinness and Company, St. James Gate, Dublin. So they want you to know that. Okay, so this is it, and it's kind of a golden color, but we're going to make it something more interesting.
Yeah, it's St. Patrick's Day. Let's make this into a true Irish beer here.
There you go. Oh my goodness, look at the magic. I got to tell you, I know this is a tradition, but it's a little creepy.
Come on. Green beer? Come on.
All right.
We're probably going to have green lips for the rest of this show.
Yeah,
but,
I think we have all in our life had green beer on St. Patrick's Day. How in the world did this begin?
Well,
You have green teeth, my. Hold on. We get a shot of this. Okay, you know what? Putting that one right there. I think I'll finish up. Where's my other? Here you go. I'm going with this one. So, how did the green beer thing
I'm
begin?
a big fan of green beer because I think it's a lot of fun, and I think beer should always
Oh,
be fun.
your face is a lot of fun right now.
As best I can tell, it was introduced at the German-American Schnorrer Club in Morrisania.
You know what a schnorrer is?
Tell me.
Schnorrer is Yiddish for cheapskate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
These guys were infamous cheapskates in the Bronx, and this guy that was named by, I believe his name was Curtin, was his last name. He introduced the beer during a St. Patty's Day festival there, and it went over big. The New York Times wrote about this beer. Yeah. It was a huge thing.
People thought it was a good idea. All right,
Yeah.
do me a favor. Take one more good-sized sip.
Oh,
Swish
thanks.
it around
Thanks
your
so
mouth.
much.
Come on. Swish it around. Do it. It's all for TV.
Yeah,
Gotta do it
thank
for
you.
the show. There you go. Okay, smile. Coming up, we're going to tell you about some great places that our viewers have gone to that we're looking forward to getting to this spring. We are at the Ship Bottom Blendery and Barrel House in Swarthmore. Joe Sixpack and his green teeth. I'm Glen Macnow. It's an episode of What's Brewing? There you go.
You don't have to go away to get away. Go and explore. Find the small businesses that make where you live a community. When you dine, choose homemade. On a free weekend, discover the great outdoors. And if it's brewed here, enjoy it with friends. Support small for an experience you won't find anywhere else. Make it local, make it Main Street, make it Motco.
Hey, welcome back to What's Brewing with Joe Sixpack. I'm Glen Macnow. This Irish thing is the end of you, pal. Anyway, we're here at Swarthmore at Ship Bottom's new place. We love it, right next to the train station. We got our big crowd today. You're going to see them at the end. We're going to have a big party for everybody who was part of our scavenger hunt this year. We love these people. And by the way, I am drinking the Ship Bottom Barnegat Lager, one of my favorites.
That's what this is too. So I'm hoping it washes away a little
Good for
of the
you.
green teeth.
I don't know. Listen, we're kind of optimistic, cautiously optimistic about the future, about where we're going. And so we asked our viewers on social media, tell us the best new place you've gone to recently or a place you're really looking forward to. By the way, we got a lot of places mentioned that you and I have visited recently.
Yeah, absolutely. Von C Brewing.
Loved it.
Mentioned by a lot of people. They're the new place in Norristown that's brewing a lot of retro beers. Some of them are the old Schmitz formula.
Yeah.
And the other spot that we had been to, which one of our followers, Philly Brews is his name on social media, mentioned, is the Warwick Farm Brewing.
Warwick Farms came up. A lot of people like that.
Yeah, they have opened up a new 5,000 square foot facility. You and I did that show, remember, out in like basically a cornfield or something?
Mid-pandemic, sitting about 2 miles apart talking to each other. Yeah, hey, we got through it. Also, McAllister, I had that good nut brown ale got mentioned.
Right.
But let me read you some of the ones that our viewers brought up and kind of get you to respond to them. Chris Myers said, well, this is one that we talked about last week. Other half New York City, specifically, they just opened in Philly, arguably a top national brewery, cool setting in a new location, super friendly employees, really cements Philly as a beer destination.
All right. So I think I want to go there. I haven't been there yet, but I don't really know that we need a New York brewery to cement Philly's reputation as a great beer scene.
Do we need a New York brewery? Well, we know where these people loyalty lie. All right. Gotta know how to play the crowd.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Thanks, Glenn.
Matthew David Prince said, Humble Parlor and Sacred Vice in Philly. I don't know these places. Both in the same warehouse in Port Richmond. A unique experience, great beers at both. Don't know them.
Sacred Vice I've been to. Humble Parlor is new. They're in the same big old hulking building there. What a great experience. You hit
Go from
two
one to the
breweries.
other back
Yeah,
and
you
forth.
don't, without stepping out into the rain.
Thank you, Jeff Kelly. You said Animated Brewing in Coatesville. The nerds that brew have been brewing together for decades and finally started a great place to eat and drink. Atmosphere is a lot like the breweries you find in North Carolina, Asheville.
Yeah, in Asheville. When you start comparing places to Asheville, I really do want to check that out.
Okay, got to get out to Coatesville. A couple of mentions for joints in Mechanicsburg,
Right.
home of my WIP colleague John Ritchie, outside of Harrisburg. Floyd Freeman said Wolf Brew in Mechanicsburg, new spot. You know that place?
Been open for a couple of years, I think.
Somebody here apparently has been
there.
there, getting the buzz out of the crowd. Says, impressive building, amazing food, great beer, fun outdoor area, incredible service. And look at the draft list from last week. He sent us an attachment.
Right.
Something for everyone.
That's good news. And there's another spot out there in Mechanicsburg,
Yeah.
Heemauer.
Yeah, Megan Miller said this. Is it Heemauer? They opened in the midst of the pandemic and they've done a great job of growing their business.
Yeah, Mechanicsburg, middle of nowhere. Well, Harrisburg, but
No, that's nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. But a beer scene.
Yeah, so this is the really good part of this, okay? Listen, everybody's really we got through the last 2 years, right? We hope that we're not going to have as much of this in the future, but that places have hung in, that new places are opening, that breweries are being ambitious, and that people are supporting is really great to see. And we encourage everybody to get out there.
Yeah, I think people, not only do we have, I don't think we have to encourage them because I think people
No,
are
they're busting.
Exactly.
They're busting the scene. So, including this great place by Ship Bottom right here in Swarthmore. Brand new opening the day we're here.
Yes.
It is opening, so make sure
Very
you
cool.
get it out here. All right, coming up next, Joe Sixpack enjoys his Trappist beers. Never been my favorites, but you're going to sell it to me, right?
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
That's good. We're here in Swarthmore at Ship Bottom for our episode of Glen Macnow here with Andrew Colligan from Conshohocken Brewing Company. Let's run down the new lineup of exciting beers, starting with Type A.
Our number one selling beer, big citrus hop notes and nice dry finish, the quintessential American IPA.
Ring the Bell Pilsner.
And that's our fastest growing brand. It's a smooth, easy drinking Pilsner to enjoy during a game.
Life Coach.
Hazy, 100% citra hop session IPA, the perfect beer for all day at the golf course or the pool.
Puddler's Row ESP.
That's our malty, roasty English pub ale, 2 silver medals at the World Beer Cup, maybe the best English ale in the country.
MC5, my favorite.
Double dry hopped IPA, it's all the juicy goodness you want in a hazy IPA.
Philly Vice.
It's our rotating series of fruited sours, light and easy drinking.
Mr. Robusto.
Dark chocolatey porter, perfect dark beer for a cold winter's night.
All exciting beers. Enjoy them all and a whole lot more at Conshohocken Brewing Company's 5 PA locations and wherever fine beer is sold.
Cheers.
Welcome back to What's Brewing with Joe Sixpack. I'm Glen Macnow. We're at Ship Bottom's brand new place here in Swarthmore, right near the train station. All right, you're going to try to sell me on a style of beer that's never really been in my wheelhouse, which is Trappist, and you're telling me it's not even a style.
No, it's a tradition. Trappist beer is beer that, true Trappist beer is beer that is made by Trappist monks in monasteries, generally to support the monastery.
Well, fine.
It's an old tradition
That's
because
great.
Trappist monasteries were where some of the greatest beers were ever brewed, but going back for centuries.
Well, a couple of years ago, you and I had some West Vlariton, if I'm getting the name correctly, which is like, oh, the greatest beer in the world. Which, by the way, was pretty great.
It was pretty damn good.
Yeah,
Glenn.
okay.
You have to admit
So
that.
did you bring me something that's as good as the West Vlariton I brought you?
Possibly not, because many people believe that's the greatest beer in the world.
Yeah.
But as I said, Trappist breweries, it's a European thing. It's a monastery that is from, basically based in France and
so what
but
European
also
beer
Belgium.
are we going to try?
Right, we're going to try an American version of it. This is the
well,
only.
You certainly built that up.
This is the exactly. This is the only Trappist brewery in America. It's Spencer Brewing or Spencer Trappist Brewing, I should say.
Yeah.
From Massachusetts, and this is their blonde. It's the lightest of their beers.
Okay.
So what do you think?
Smells great. Nice. Got a little spiciness to it. Right?
Because that's the yeast. They're very notable for the yeast.
Yeah.
The thing about Trappist beers
It's not like a Belgian, but it's like half a Belgian.
Well, it's because it's one of the lighter ones. It's not the big heavy duty that you had, like the one from West Flattery.
Yeah.
The thing about this beer is that it is, it's really important to remember that these beers are brewed at monasteries to support the monastery
So
itself.
a monk is working on this all day.
Presumably.
This is it.
In between.
As he prays.
Exactly,
There
while
you
he's
go.
praying all day.
Okay.
So it's a pretty cool tradition. You have to remember, though, that monasteries were some of the whole origin of beers comes from these places, because monks were some of the most educated people when you go back into the Middle Ages. They actually knew how to write down recipes and share them, and they made really wonderful beers.
So you told me there are only 11 Trappist monasteries that make beer around
Right,
the
we
world
have some
now?
of the ones in the front of them. These are basically the Belgian ones, places like Rochefort and Chimay and Westmalle. Orval, it's one of beer that I always point out to people. It doesn't taste like anything like the other beers because it's sort of sour. It's not sweet like some of these other beers.
Okay, and all these I can find any of these anywhere?
Well, not really. You
No,
have to
okay.
really search
I got to
for
know
some of
monks.
these beers.
I got to hang out at
You got to go to
religious monasteries.
You have to go to
Not
a
likely.
specialty beer store or a really good bar to find these beers on tap.
Okay, very good. Well, I enjoyed this. Thank you,
like
so
this one?
much. Yeah,
Oh man, Glenn, you are so tough.
I like this one. I'll stick with my
Robert
Mexican
Zarco to
stuff.
pull on his monk outfit.
I don't know if any Mexican priests went into making this. I don't think so. I think it was Robert Zarco, but I'll enjoy
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
You enjoy that. There you go. All right, coming up, very special segment. We are going to welcome all of the winners of our scavenger hunt, particularly the man who got everything, got all the bonus points. We're going to have a little party, and you are invited right here at Ship Bottom in Swarthmore, because this is our season finale of What's Brewing? I'm a ventriloquist. Welcome back to What's Brewing. It's our season finale, our 5th season, and we really appreciate everybody who's watched us all of this time. We love doing the show, not just because we get free beer, but that's a big part of it. And we had a great, this year
We had so much fun with our scavenger hunt because we asked our viewers to show pictures on social media. We gave them a challenge every week.
13 weeks, 13 different challenges. We had more than 200 people get involved. We had about 45 just run the whole table. They're all here with us tonight. Give yourselves a hand. There you go. So the question became, how do we break a tie when we have all these people? We gave out bonus points, and the winner, a little subjective, but Russell Westner, congratulations. You did it, and yeah, we give him a hand too. Yeah. There you go. And Joe Sixpack, there were kind of several ways along the way that he could break the tie.
The one that really did it for him was the haziest beer, which was from Attic Brewing.
What was your hazy beer, Russell?
It was the Roscoe from Attic Brewing. It was a triple hazy IPA.
A triple hazy. Wonderful beer named after Rasheed Wallace.
Yeah, that was the Rasheed Wallace beer, and that was great. And you did the whole thing. What did you run? One of our favorites was when we asked people to take a picture of a beer with their pet. What did you use there?
Well, that was the most challenging for me because I don't have a pet.
Oh, hold it! Hold it!
So what'd you do?
So I went to Conshohocken Brewing, which is pet friendly.
Yeah.
And a couple people had their dogs there, so I
Grab somebody's dog.
I borrowed one of the dogs. Yeah.
Well, you did it all.
Hold it, Glenn. There was one last challenge. He's got to drink this damn green beers.
Look, you did it all. You get a free night of drinking on us, actually, really on Robert Zarco of Ship Bottom, and everybody else gets to party. We're going to walk around and show you some of the great people that we've been involved with this year. What's your name?
Tommy Walsh.
All right, and Tommy, remind me what you did when we had the show us your pet one.
The pet one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, my son and I drove cross country. He moved out to San Diego.
Yeah.
And he brought his pet dog with him, Oakley. And we hit breweries all along the way. We went to like eight or 10 different breweries and stuff like that. And since then, her name was Oakley, the pet dog. She passed away, so but my son's still out in California, and every time I go out to California, we hit all the breweries now.
And so the pet you posted was like a tribute to that dog.
Yes, it was.
That was so nice. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of it. Thanks, man.
These are two guys I've been drinking a long time with, Mark Henny and Bob Benash. Somehow they found their way into this place. Mark,
Hi.
thanks for coming. What was your proudest entry in our scavenger hunt?
I don't know. I think, if I had put all my 200 T-shirts in, I might have beat it out. But
Hold it, Bob. Mark. You submitted as one of yours was, we asked for a beer book. You actually had the gall to submit your own book.
yes, I thought that was funny. I figured you'd get a kick out of that. And all of your books, too. So
Right. Sucking up to the judges. And Bob Benash came all the way down from New Hampshire. He's a local guy, been a big supporter of our show. Bob, you brought us beer, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, I always bring beer down, you know what I mean? Some good stuff. New Hampshire's really making some good beers today. Vermont, as you know, is like world-class beers coming out of Vermont. So every time I come down, I always try to bring some beers, make everybody happy.
That's one of the best things about What's Brewing has been to share so many great beers with so many folks. Mark and Bob, thank you so much for coming down.
thank you.
Thank you.
This nice man brought us beer now. What's your name?
Kevin Sullivan.
All right, and Kevin, what did you happen to come tonight and brought stuff for us, which is really nice. What'd you bring?
I brought Reich beer, which is a beer that's only made in Springfield, Illinois. And I was out there seeing my mother, and I said, okay, I'm going to the party on Wednesday. These guys are going to love it.
Oh, it's great. I'm looking forward to trying it. Thanks for being part of the show.
It was a lot of fun, even though my octagonal coaster for Reich beer didn't count.
Oh, well,
All right. Shipwright Brewing Company in Lunenburg in Nova Scotia. You came all the way from Canada?
Yes, very great place. No, I was there on vacation last summer, but really a lot of fun. Lots of good beer.
So, which one of you was doing the scavenger hunt?
I was doing the scavenger hunt. Pat was living in Florida, and I said, hey, come on up. I think I'm going to actually be a part of the scavenger hunt. You should come here and be my guest. And here she came.
Here I am.
So you came all the way from Florida. That's fantastic. What kind of beer do you like the best?
I'm a Hefeweizen or a Belgian. I'm not a hoppy girl. I'm the opposite of what he is.
All right. And you, what was your proudest submission during our scavenger hunt?
It's either the pet, which was a stuffed giraffe, because like our champion, I don't have a pet because of all the allergies in the house. And then perhaps my collection of bottle openers.
Bottle opener's great. Let's get your names before we move on.
I'm Hutch.
Hutch?
And I'm Pat.
Pat, thank you so much for coming out to our fun scavenger hunt party.
Thank you for having us, and thanks for drinking beer with us.
Who are you nice? And I love the pretzels and hot dogs. Who are you nice folks?
Hi, I'm Ronnie, and this is my husband, Steve.
Nice to meet you.
Steve, you've obviously been to the Great American Beer Fest.
I have. I actually so they did World Beer Cup in 2016 in Philadelphia, so I got involved with the Brewers Association, and ever since then they invite me out. I get to volunteer every year with GABF, so it's great to go out there, get to drink free beer, bring a ton of...
I was going to say, how much do you have to pay them to volunteer?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
All right, so what's your favorite style? What's your favorite beers?
Oh, I love Baltic Porters. It's one of my favorites of all time.
How about you?
Yep.
I like a little bit of everything, but I've recent years really been into lagers, so a good Helles lager, a good Doppelbock. Those are really what I've been drinking a lot.
Lagers are really becoming popular now. Maybe it's the next trend. Hey, thank you for being part. What was the toughest challenge in the scavenger hunt?
So I did all the challenges.
Oh, he did all the work.
I did them all. I think the toughest one was the vintage breweries, the breweries that were now defunct. That was really tough.
You did a great job, and thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Enjoy the night. Well, as you can see, the party is well underway here at Ship Bottom Blendery and Barrel House.
In Swarthmore, we've had a great time here with all of our finalists in our scavenger hunt. Thank you so much for participating.
Yeah, it's been a really fun season. We thank everybody for watching. And Joe Sixpack and I will see you next season on What's Brewing.
What's Brewing is brought to you in part by Monco Makers, powered by the Valley Forge Tourism Convention Board. Download the app. By Visit Bucks County. Travel the Bucks County Ale Trail. Check in digitally to 5 or more breweries to score a free t-shirt. Get your passport at visitbuckscounty.com. And by the Conshohocken Brewing Company. Visit conchohockenbrewing.com for the latest releases, location hours, menus, and online store.